Welcome back to ACT Prep. We'll be finishing the questions on the reading The Age of Wonder by Richard Holmes, starting with question 16. The passage most strongly suggests that while William operated his telescope, Caroline would have to work below in a special booth because option F says she would be relaying William's instructions to the workmen who turned the telescope. Now, when we look back to where this was discussed, it's early in the text in the third paragraph. It says, Caroline will be shut in a special booth below to avoid light pollution, where she would have her desk and lamp, celestial clocks, and observation journals. If she's in a special booth, she can't be relaying instructions to workmen, so option F can be eliminated. G, she preferred seclusion when working on calculations. There's no mention of this, so it's not a very likely answer. Let's keep looking to find a better choice. The telescope's viewing platform would not be large enough to hold both William and Caroline. Now, this doesn't make sense because they're building the platform. If they needed it to be larger, they could have done that. Option J, the light from her lamp would interfere with William's view of the night sky. Now, this choice does seem likely. The text says that she needs a lamp to make her notes in the observation journals. If you aren't familiar with the term light pollution, think about other types of pollution that you have heard of. Water pollution. Well, that doesn't seem relevant. How about noise pollution, where there's too much noise and it makes the atmosphere unpleasant or inhospitable for others? Now, this seems like a good choice. So we're going to select J. 17. Which of the following questions is most directly answered by the passage? A, what inspired William to embark on this project to observe and resolve the heavens? Well, we get no real answer to this question, so it does not seem to be a good choice. Why did Caroline and William move to the Grove? Option B. The beginning of the passage gives details of William's plans for building the telescope and setting up a system for viewing the skies. At the beginning of paragraph 4, line 25, it says, William had decided that his grand project required a new house with larger grounds for constructing and erecting the telescope. This answer looks like a very good choice, so let's mark it and check the other options to see if there are better choices. Option C, why couldn't Caroline calculate the coordinates of the comet she discovered? Now, this question isn't answered in any way in the passage. In fact, we're kind of left wondering that point. So let's eliminate option C. D, how long did it take the Royal Society to confirm Caroline's discovery of a new comet? The information we get on this is at the very end of the passage, when we learn that the verification of Caroline's comet was achieved much more rapidly than William's discovery of the planet Uranus had been. Now, we don't have specific information to answer the question, so let's go back to our best answer, which was B. Question 18. It can most reasonably be inferred from the passage that compared to the normal telescopes of its type, the 2-foot Newtonian reflector William had built had. Now, the options. Let's look back at the text. If you go back way up to the beginning, in paragraph 2, it's when they first start talking about the telescope that he's building, but there's no mention of a reflector. So we want to skim along until we do find mention of a reflector. And we're going to get that in this paragraph, paragraph 6 at line 41, where it says, we see mention of a special 2-foot Newtonian reflector that William had built for Caroline. It continues, because of its large aperture, its tubes appeared much fatter, heavier, and stubbier than normal reflectors of this type. Suspended from a pivot at the top of the box frame, the telescope could be precisely raised or lowered by a system of pulleys operated by a winding handle. Let's eliminate the choices and come up with the best one. F, the larger aperture. There's no mention of a large aperture. So there is mention of a large aperture. So this does seem like a good choice. Let's hold on to this as a probable answer and eliminate the others because one may be better. A smaller box frame is G. There is mention of a box frame, but there's nothing about its size. So let's eliminate G as an option. H, more magnifying power. There's no mention of magnifying power in the passage we read. Let's look further along in the text. This beautiful instrument, it does say, was designed specifically for its huge light gathering power and its wide angle of vision. The magnification was comparatively low at 24 times. Here we see that the magnifying power was low rather than more magnifying power or higher power. So let's eliminate option H. J, less light gathering. The text said huge light gathering power, which is the opposite of less. So we're going to eliminate choice J also. Now that does leave us back with our best choice, F. Question 19. According to the passage, when Caroline first saw her comet, it appeared to be moving through. At this point, let's look back at the text for reference. In line 61, we see when Caroline first saw her, on August 1, 1786, only 2 nights after starting her sweeps, Caroline thought she spotted an unknown stellar object moving through Ursa Major, the Great Bear constellation. It appeared to be descending, but barely perceptibly, toward a triangulation of stars in the beautifully named constellation Coma Berenices. Choice A is Coma Berenices and descending toward the pole star. That's not what it says, and so we're going to eliminate that option. Choice B, Coma Berenices and descending toward the stars in the Big Dipper. That's also not what is said in the text. Choice C, Ursa Major and descending toward the stars in the Coma Berenices. That's exactly what the text tells us. So we're going to save C as the best answer so far. D, a triangulation of stars, which includes the pole star and descending toward Coma Berenices. While the text does have the comet descending toward Coma Berenices, it starts from Ursa Major, not a triangulation of stars. So let's eliminate choice D, which means the best choice was C. Our last question is 20. The passage indicates that Caroline's discovery of a new comet was unlikely because Caroline, choice F, found the comet quickly in part of the sky that was familiar to astronomers and stargazers. This is true and surprising, so it is a likely answer, and we'll save it to look at later if we eliminate some others. Choice G knew more about nebula than she knew about comets. There's no information that this is true, so we're going to eliminate that. Choice H had already discovered a planet while performing observations with William. Now, this has not been stated and seems very unlikely. In fact, we know that William had found a planet and there just aren't that many of them. So we're going to cross out H. Choice J had little experience calculating the mathematical coordinates of stellar objects. It seems from the text that Caroline had a lot of experience with mathematical coordinates of stellar objects. So this is an unlikely answer. We're going to eliminate J. Our best answer was F. Thank you very much for your attention. Good luck on the ACT.